Thank you, Gerry. Ministers McEntee, Minister English, Cllr Meath County Council, Councillor Gerry O'Connor, CEO of Meath County Council, Jackie Maguire, Deputy Thomas Byrne, Councillor Farelly, and any of the other elected representatives. You're all very welcome to this launch of our Tech Hub here this morning. As Chairman of the Board of the Kells Enterprise Centre and Tech Hub, I want to, on behalf of all the board members, to welcome all of you here this morning. I think we can be nothing other than impressed with the work that has been done here to develop this technology centre and Tech Hub. I want to take and say a special thanks to Gerry O'Mara, our manager. He's both manager of this centre and manager of the centre in Navan. And on a very, very small budget of about €400,000, he has done a marvellous job. Some of that money has come from the Department of Community and Rural Development, REDS, under the REDS section, and the Meath County Council have been more than generous with providing something in the region of 120,000. We have been wondering for the last number of years what we would do with this centre. We have a number of small businesses here and a number of businesses who have been here over the years who have actually moved on to bigger premises. And I have no doubt that this particular hub will be the creation. Many, many new entrepreneurs will be created in this hub over the next 5 years. And I'm sure when we look back on what has happened from this day in 2018, we'll be saying, wasn't it worthwhile that Kells became the first particular major tech hub in the county that has been supported by both one of the departments and by the county council. I think it's important also for, and I know our young entrepreneurs that I deal with and we come across through the County Meath Chamber of Commerce, of which I happen to be president of at the moment, that these people are looking to develop emerging markets, and they're doing that in a very particular way. And I know we as a chamber recognise that, and I just want to mention that we have had the opportunity of signing a memorandum of understanding with the chamber in a city called Nimbo, where they have. That particular chamber has 10,500 members, 6.5 million people in the city. And I want to take the opportunity and thank Kevin Stewart, who is involved, one of the directors, economic directors in Meath County Council, for meeting a number of delegations with our chairman over the last year, Councillor Gerry O'Connor, who came from China, looking at Ireland for the possibility of training, the possibility of looking for investment, the possibility of looking for tech investments. And the last time I was out there on the 25th of January this year, I had the opportunity to actually sell County Meath to 38 tech companies, some of which, a small number of which now are in discussions with companies here in Ireland to actually develop markets in Europe. So the opportunities are huge. We as a chamber will be working with Meath County Council, we'll be working with Leo, we'll be working with Gerry to actually develop those markets and look to increase the actual work that we do. So with that, the last thing I want to mention, and it's a housekeeping matter from a chamber point of view, we have a Brexit. Brexit is looming large. One doesn't know what the outcome of the discussions are going to be, and I just want to make that particular point from a chamber point of view, representing businesses in this county. And it's important that the businesses know as much as possible and learn as much as possible, because there's something new on a weekly and a monthly basis. We have a breakfast briefing next Wednesday morning on the 23rd in the Ardboyne for anyone that's interested, and our guest speakers there will be our local Minister for Economic Affairs, Minister McEntee, the Taoiseach will be there, Minister Coveney, the chairman of, or the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce of the English-Irish Chamber of Commerce, John McGrain, who has his ear to the ground in what's happening with companies both here and in England, and I think it's important. He has a great knowledge of what exactly is happening, and Damien MacDonald, the IFA Director General. So for any of you who are interested in that particular topic, we start at 7:30, the breakfast, and there will be an opportunity for discussions afterwards. So with that, I want to thank you all for attending this morning. I want to thank Gerry again, and I want to take the opportunity now to introduce the CEO of Meath County Council, Jackie Maguire, to address you.
Cllr ministers, Oireachtas members, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very great pleasure for me to be able to be here this morning to speak to you at the opening of, I think, what you all would agree is a fantastic facility. I know most of you at this stage, and hopefully you get further opportunities to have a look around and see what is on offer. And hopefully, and I think all of you will agree, because we've been chatting a lot of people, that it's as good as anything you'd find indeed in the country. The centre will be a resource not just for Kells, but for all of North Meath and indeed beyond, even over the boundaries into other counties that surround us. It'll provide opportunities for new startups, new entrepreneurs, or anybody looking for just a safe and indeed an affordable place to test out new ideas, or for those who are looking for an alternative to that daily commute. Indeed, the auditorium that you're in here seats 124 people. That's going to give us and allow us opportunities to explore things we don't even know what as yet, but certainly collaborations with the third level institutions, with other training providers, and I'm sure there's other opportunities that will arise that right now we can't imagine. The centre, as most of you would have seen this morning, offers space for remote working, which should be, I would say, of huge interest for anyone who's doing that very long commute out of the county. And it's always one of the stats we quote, in the region that we're in and outside of the Dublin region, outside of the likes of Fingal, South Dublin, because they're commuting within the county capital of Dublin. We're the largest county of commuters to work every morning. And one of the main priority we undertook in Meath County Council over the last 5 years with our economic strategy is to reverse that. And we've come a long way in trying to achieve that. And today, and what we've done here in the Kells Tech Hub is very much part of that. And I've no doubt that anybody who is doing that commute, either be it to Dublin predominantly or anywhere else, should be talking to their employers and say, look, I could have an opportunity by taking a desk at a very affordable price here in the Kells Tech Hub, and at least limit the commute, if not completely, wipe it out completely. Because there are huge savings. It's a very affordable scheme that we have here. And Meath County Council back in 2006 invested in the actual building itself. They invested almost over 4 million in actually putting the structure here. And I know when I took up the position of Chief Executive back in 2013, and when I came to visit it, we had just grey concrete walls here. And it was just one big open space, and we were quite unsure, what we could do, where we were going to go. But of course, in 2006, there was a different vision there. But we all know what happened thereafter. It was very difficult to attract businesses, and thankfully we've come out of that. There's growth everywhere, and in particular the opportunity with the launch of the REDS programme back in 2015 for us was quite timely here, because we had been looking at the Kells Enterprise Centre with the board that are here, trying to understand how we could make it, livable, bring back life into it. But with that, back in 2015, as we say, we all knew the green shoots were appearing, and we saw the opportunity with the REDS funding And together with the Kells Enterprise Centre, we set about trying to come up with how we would reinvent the space or reposition the Kells Enterprise Centre here. And we took advantage of that opportunity for funding. In partnership with the board, we made an application in 2015 and we were very successful. We secured 75,000 at the time. Now, may not be significant money at the time, but it was enough to get us started on where we needed to go. We applied then again for phase 2 in 2016 and we received further funding of 200,000. Meath County Council match fund that, John has already referenced that, to the tune of 120,000. And with that element of funding, here we are today with what you see both here, but in the rooms next door. And I really want to recognise the commitment of the Kells Enterprise Centre Board and all who are on it, in particular John as chair of it. They were very much behind the project and they were very encouraging and they gave all of their assistance, and that's again, it's all about collaboration, and it's why we are here today. And I hope from what you have seen so far that you will agree that the funding has been spent wisely, it's been invested very well, and we have an excellent facility with great value for money. And I know John has mentioned them already, but I particularly again want to thank Gary O'Mara and Rebecca Mead and all the team at the Enterprise Centre for all the work in developing and fitting out the centre and driving it forward and keeping the vision and keeping us all pushed forward. Nobody forgot what we wanted to do with the centre that we have here. In particular too, I also want to thank my own staff, Kevin Stewart, Director of Planning and Economic Development, Joe English at the Leo office and all his team for their commitment in securing the funding and taking the project to where we have it today. You know, the facilities, as I say, they are second to none. It's delighted, they're new, they're vibrant, the colour scheme, you know, they're what that new entrepreneur, that new startup needs and requires. You know, and there's a huge steady stream of inquiries for the spaces. I happen to be talking to one of our newest clients, Eugene, who's down there in the audience. And like everything we've said, Eugene has now taken on a new opportunity, having left his own employment with Cllr Packard after a long period of time. And as he said, one of the best things he said to me this morning about here was turning out the gate of his house and travelling 14 minutes to work. And everything then that the centre has here to offer him. So Eugene, we wish you very well. I think you're one of our first, but our second tenant, and hopefully we'll have many more Eugenes in the next couple of weeks. And we wish every success in your own new start. As I say, it is very attractive to business, to small businesses, and what we can actually offer here. And indeed, to make it more affordable, Meath County Council, we've committed to meeting the first year's cost of the high-speed fibre to the centre. So that will hopefully reduce costs further in the first year here at the facility. And indeed, throughout everything we do at Meath County Council, particularly on the economic front, our mantra is make it Meath, and make it every part of Meath. And that really is about supporting businesses, and hopefully what we have done here today, you can all see is I suppose, it demonstrates that our commitment is to small businesses as well as the very large ones. And you know, I have no doubt that the Kells Tech Hub here will be hugely successful. It's an excellent service, and there will be opportunities that we can't even imagine here this morning for the centre, and indeed for Kells, and indeed for North Meath. So really, from here on in, it's very much about spreading the news of what we have to offer, telling people what we have here, and encouraging many more to take up the offer that we have here. So without further ado, I'd like to call on the Cllr of Meath County Council, who'll speak to you for a moment, and then who will officially open and launch the Kells Tech Hub. Thank you very much.
Two previous speakers had read my speech and taken some of the details there, so I'll have to improvise. Good morning, ministers, Oireachtas members, fellow councillors, CEO Jackie, Kevin, Director of Services, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me here this morning to formally launch this wonderful new and exciting development, the Kells Tech Hub. I'm coming towards the end of my term as Cllr, and it's been a privilege for me to serve in that position at a time when Meath, as a county, is doing so much to help attract and support new business and investment. Community enterprise centres such as Kells Tech, they play a vitally important role in the development of small start-up businesses. They provide an accessible and affordable environment for people with ideas, people that want to start small, and people that want to grow but that do not have the capital or financial resources to spend on premises or equipment just yet. Meath is a county of small businesses, and our local enterprise offices are one of the busiest in the country. In 2017, the Leo assisted almost 300 businesses with financial support, mentoring, business advice, training, and they helped to create over 160 new jobs. These are small companies, many of them putting their toe in the water for the first time. That can be a daunting experience, and an expensive one if the supports are not there and if things go wrong. Finding premises at affordable rent and being in an environment with like-minded people excuse me, who can share experience and knowledge is invaluable to a new startup. New businesses need guidance. They need advice and reassurance as well as money. They need access to training, and they need a place that they can call home. Kells Tech can provide all of these, and I've no doubt that this will become home to many current and future Leo clients. All business supports can be provided here, and this helps to ease the worries that a new business may be experiencing. It allows them to find their feet, to innovate, to expand, and to grow. I've no doubt that some of Meath's top companies and some of Ireland's best future entrepreneurs will pass through these doors and start their business life here in Kells Tech. This term as Cllr, I've been lucky and blown away at the conveyor belt of young entrepreneurs I can see coming down the line. We had a Meath winner, a regional winner, and a finalist in the national by the Irish Best Young Entrepreneurs competition from Enfield Global Pod. I've seen our student enterprises, our students and our schools taking part in enterprise competitions, and we had 3 there recently that got into the final, and they all won prizes. So there's a culture there. If you look at our Enterprise Week, you can see where people are coming, they're coming through. We look at our Boyne Valley tourism and the work it's doing. We look at the Boyne Valley Food Hub. Like, there's a fantastic, innovative enterprise culture being developed here in this county, and I'm very proud of that. In our discussions with the state agencies, we often hear about the shortage of soft landing space or hot desking for potential investors. Places where a company can start small and where they can refine their ideas and grow their business in a sustainable way before hopefully moving on to something bigger. I've no hesitation in saying to our colleagues in the IDA and in Enterprise Ireland that we now have that landing space here in Kells, so bring it on. And we hope that you'll take advantage of what we can offer your clients. Later on this year, hopefully, Jackie, we'll be developing a smaller hub in South East Meath, in my town of Dunshaughlin, in the civic offices, which will offer just hot desks and won't be as elaborate as this. But as a council, we're reacting to trying to provide where there's gaps, where we've been told there's gaps, and that's very positive. I recently had the opportunity to visit our sister city, Gerry, in North Carolina. And when I was there, I was introduced to one of their sister cities, Markham in Ontario. Markham in Ontario is a bit similar to us. It's just outside Toronto, similar as Meath is situated just outside Dublin, the capital city. And we were introduced to some of the people there from their local authority and from their Venture Lab project, which consists of the public, private and academic partners coming together to support and grow new tech startups. Looking around this centre here this morning, that Gerry gave me a preview of it, I'm struck by the many similarities between what I saw in Markham and what will happen here. We intend as a council to pursue links with Markham, potentially a sister city, so perhaps there will be opportunities for international collaboration involving Kells Tech in the future. The availability of high-speed broadband is also a key advantage for business. The issues with reliable rural broadband, they're well documented. KETC offers high-speed broadband as part of the package, and I was delighted when Jackie mentioned there that the council was funding the cost for the first year. That's a good use of our economic development budget and one I support, and a very practical way of helping small business to survive and grow. So, as the Cllr and Meath County Council, Europe's busy business-ready region, it's my great pleasure to declare Kells Tech Hub, excuse me, Tech Hub, that's the Boyne Valley food, just kidding, but it's Kells Tech Hub, open for business. I want to echo the thanks to our Director of Economic Development, Kevin Stewart, and our Head of Local Enterprise, Joe English, for the support for this project. And I wish Gerry, who put a huge effort into this, and all the team of Meath Enterprise, every success in finding clients. I'm sure that won't be a problem. If anything, I expect you'll be oversubscribed. This is an important day for business development in Kells, in North Meath, and for our whole county of Meath, and I'm delighted to be a part of it. So thank you.